I don't know how many of you are also super gaming nerds like I am, but if anyone is going to be at EGX 2016, it starts a week tomorrow. I'm going to be there too. We could be internet photograph buddies. I'm going to be there on the Saturday and Sunday. It's at the NEC in Birmingham. If you are there on either of those days, just tweet at Lollujo. Let me know you're there. It would be marvellous to meet up for a photo op and a handshake and just a general go out there and meet some of you people, put some faces to names. I'd like it a lot. Let me know on Twitter if you're going to be there. Hello and welcome to part 20 of the Milan mission. I'm Kev, and coming up on today's episode we have matches against Lazio and Udinese in Serie A. And I may have done some panic buys in the January transfer window, and the window's going to close at the end of this episode, so there might even be more business yet. I'm actually trying to ship a couple of players out because panic buys. 3 players have come in. One that we've been looking at a little while, Danilo, another 21-year-old Brazilian. I just like to have young Brazilians at the club. This lad came in from Valencia for just under £10 million. He's already worth double that, so that's a good deal. 3.5-star current ability, 5-star potential ability. Can play central midfield or holding midfield. And he's already almost as good as Bazawa at being a defensive midfielder, and almost as good as Mauri and Bazawa in central midfield. So he's going to get plenty of games. He's a good player for the future. He's good enough to get game time now. Oh, look at that. Look at those stats. I mean, he has got very few numbers at all below 10. In fact, his lowest rating is an 8 for long throws, which I think we can probably live without him being able to take long throws because he can do everything else. So, I think he was money well spent. The real panic buy, this one was silly. I acknowledge that it was silly. Nearly £30 million for Karim Benzema, 30 years old now. I already think this was a stupid thing to do. But again, we've been struggling for goals. And I thought, he scores goals. Although looking at his record, he doesn't really. He's had a few good seasons over his career, but not really a consistent, prolific goal scorer, but he does come in to be the best striker at the club. Well, he's as good as Bakker anyway. So it's an improvement to the squad. He scored on his debut as well. He scored about 5 minutes into his debut. Hasn't scored since, but has picked up another assist. I know it was stupid because we've got Gabriel Barbosa coming in this summer as well. But, we'll probably sell Bakker in the summer if we get any offers. So, guess it's okay. And then, of course, I brought a Brazilian fullback, left back. I hope he's going to be the left-footed version of Makey. That's the plan. That's why I brought him. George. He's 21 years old. He's already played for Brazil. 3.5-star current ability, 5-star potential ability. We spent a huge amount of money on him. Too much money, really. £18.5 million. But he has got an assist on his debut. So if we can get an assist machine on that left-hand side to complement Makey on the right-hand side with our 2 young Brazilian awesome fullbacks, the future is bright at fullback. It does mean De Chilio is not a first choice on either side now, and he's officially for sale. I'm hoping Man United or Chelsea or someone come in and offer 20 million-ish from it. It's an odd situation to be in. We're still only about a year from when he was digging his heels in trying to leave, and now he wants to stay, and we're kind of keen for him to leave now. So it's an odd one, but there are clubs in for him. Liverpool want him at the moment, but they're not offering enough money. We want to get the money back that we've just spent on George. So we're looking for at least sort of 17, 18 million. I know we probably shouldn't be selling him. He's a Milan youth player. He can play fullback on either side, but he's as good as he's ever going to get. And he's currently no better than either of our first choices, but too good to be sat around in the reserves. We've got Lazar to be a backup on the left-hand side. We've got Abati to be a backup on the right-hand side. He's too good to be sat in our reserves. So if we can get £20 million and recoup some of the money we've frittered over the summer and over January, that would be good, because over the course of this season now we've spent a ridiculous £205 million, and it's all on buy now pay later. If we don't qualify for the Champions League this season, the club is in financial ruin and form has been indifferent. Sort of in and out, and I mean it's hokey cokey form. That's what we'll call it. Hokey. That's the word, isn't it? Yeah. So we're currently 5th, but we have got a game in hand on everybody above us. But even that game in hand will only put us up to 4th. So we've got some ground to make up on Fiorentina just to get back into the top 3 in a Champions League spot again. And we are miles behind Juventus and Inter. It feels like we get to this point of every season and I'm saying the same things. What we need to do is not sign 5 players next summer. Just let these young players get better and not disrupt the squad and take ages to gel. That still upsets me that Lapadula is top scorer and we never even gave him a game, and we've just spent £30 million on a striker older than him. I hate this game sometimes. So this is the team that we're playing for the first of today's 2 games away against Lazio. We have gone back to the 4-3-1-2 rather than the diamond. I mean, it just means the only change is it pushes the holding midfield player back up into the midfield a little bit. I'm trying to do something to create goals. We're still not scoring enough goals. We're not attacking enough, and I think we're good enough to not need a holding midfield player now. I know we're still not winning every game, but look at the quality of those defenders. Romagnoli, Zuma and Horn. That should be a good back line. Mauri still drifts back to sit in front of them. We want the 2 fullbacks to push on and be awesome. It makes sense to me. So we've got Horn in goal, a back 4 of Lazar, Romagnoli, Zuma and Makey. George isn't quite fit. I mean, he's only just arrived, so he doesn't play today, giving Lazar another opportunity to be in the side. Bertolacci, Mauri and Bazoa are our midfield, with Ceballos in behind Benzema and Iosi. I think Backer's injured. Backer was injured. He's just coming back to fitness. I realise now this is probably the weak area of our squad, our attacking midfield player. Although, I mean, he's going to get good, but at only 21, Danny Ceballos, probably not an ideal player to have there. But we have got Barbosa coming in the summer who can play there, presumably. If not, Iosi can drop back. So he could be the missing piece of the jigsaw, and I'd like to think he'll perhaps be the only player we need to bring in. Although you lot have met me before, you know full well if they give me £80 million to spend, I will spend it all. So as much as I'd like to pretend I'll be sensible, give me money, I will spend. That's just how we do things around here. I would be interested to know what you lot think we need to do to strengthen this squad, because I certainly think defensively, both in the centre, at full-backs, in goal, I think we are good enough to go 5 years without needing to buy a player now if we kept everyone we've got. Up front, I think we've got a good mix of top quality experienced players and promising youngsters. And midfield, again, I mean, Danilo's not even playing today. We've got Mauri, we've got Bazoa. We've still got a load of other players like Bertolacci, Bonaventura, who were around when we got here. It's a good mix of youth and experience again. I think we're about there. So what's going wrong? Why are we not top of the league? Is the tactic wrong? If so, what should we be doing to fix that? I don't know. Whatever we try isn't really working at the moment. I think we probably just need to pick something, stick with it. We've been through phases like this before, and I know we just need to pick something and stick with it, but it's that period where you're not sure what to pick and stick with, because if you pick the wrong thing, no amount of sticking with it solves the problem. I hope this is the right thing now, because this is the formation that the assistants and everyone keep telling me to play, the 4-3-1-2. So let's hope it's the right one. Right, Iosi's through. What can he do here? Hopefully, see, it was like he was in 2 minds about whether he was going to cross or shoot. He didn't really do an effective version of either. And we're struggling to get into games. We're not getting much possession. We've not had a shot on target yet today. We're half an hour in. We're supposed to be better than Lazio. Lazio are a perennial mid-table team, and we're supposed to be pushing for the title. And it doesn't look like there's anything between us. And in fact, there you go, Lazio have had the first clear-cut chance of the game, and it shouldn't be this way. Right, Benzema and Jose linking up well. Benzema crosses into Lazar, who forces a save out of their keeper, and we've won a corner. Makey to take. Kazuma and Romagnoli couldn't quite get there to challenge their goalkeeper, and it remains 0-0. Where is the old Coke Zero? I've got a headache. Need some Coke Zero, because of its medicinal properties, it will probably fix the headache. Oh, that's delightful. Right, Benzema again. That's poor control. £28 million, and he can't even trap the ball on his chest. I could have controlled the ball properly there. Most upsetting. Right, half time. I mean, we're getting back into the game, I guess. We're still not great, but at least we're slowly getting back into things. We're slowly evening up possession. We've had a few more shots now. Right, Makey, don't really know what he was trying to do there. Luckily, the highlight stopped, so we didn't have to see where the ball ended up. I fear it ended up nowhere of any use, and that is just poor. And I don't even know whose fault it is. Perhaps the cross shouldn't have ever come in. Perhaps there shouldn't... I mean, why are the defenders letting the striker get in behind them? Why is the goalkeeper not coming? I mean, it's... How? How does that happen? We've got, like, I don't know, £200 million of a player there between Zuma and Romagnoli and Horn and Lazar as the fullback who should have been closing the cross down. And it just looked like I was still watching Posh. We're going away again. We're going to lose to Lazio. We're not even going to get in the Champions League. We're going to do a Leeds. We're gambling a huge amount of money on Champions League success, and we're not going to qualify. And the club is just going to fall apart. And it's going to be all my fault. No, what have I done? We need to turn this around. This system doesn't seem to be the one. But because of the way we're focusing our signings on playing the diamond or this, we don't have as much talent in wide players. So doing anything that involves playing wide players is surely going to lessen the quality of the team because the players aren't going to be as good. But then if they're playing in a more effective system, does that matter? It's difficult to know what to do. I don't like it. We're going to lose, and I think that's what we need. We need a game changer to bring off the bench, and we don't really have one at the moment. Those free subs who've come on, they're not particularly inspiring, and we're just not threatening, are we? We're playing an attacking system where we've had roughly half of the possession, roughly equal number of shots, but they've had 2 clear-cut chances. We've had none. We've just not played well, and it's a recurring theme. And now we've got to go and play. Well, we've got playing at home to Udinese, who are above us in the league. Oh, form at the moment is so annoying. Right, it's transfer deadline day. And we've done some business. We've sold the fullback of many names. Mattia De Sciglio has gone to Liverpool for £17.5 million, which could raise up to about 22. It's what we paid for George, and I just fell out with him with all this silliness before. I know he's been quite good, and we probably shouldn't have sold him, and you'll tell me all the reasons why that was a bad decision, but I can't say his name, and that ultimately it comes down to that. We've also let Luis Adriano out on loan to Roma. Hopefully we're not going to live to regret that with him scoring goals and going to be second top scorer in the league behind Lapadula. Wouldn't surprise anybody, but fingers crossed. And this is the team that we're then playing today against Udinese, so a little bit of change just because I want to see if we do any better. We'll try Donnarumma in goal. Why not? He might have saved that goal in the last game. George comes in at left back because Lazar is suspended, and Danilo comes into midfield at the expense of Mauri, who is rested, and Bacca comes in for Aozi up front just because he's a little bit fitter again now. And why not? So let's submit that. Yes, George and Bacca aren't fully fit. Will the funds... No, we've already spent it. No, we're not going to spend. Yeah, well, I don't understand why the fans are getting all hissy about him going. We've got plenty of players who can offer cover. We've got Little Gomez who can play fullback either side as well. We've still got 2 top quality left backs who are both better than De Sciglio. Makey's better than him as well at right back, and Little Gomez, we've seen him do perfectly acceptable job out at right back on a number of occasions. Plus he's got the flexibility to play elsewhere in defence as well. Romagnoli can play left back, Zuma can play right back. We've got plenty of... We've still got Christian Abati around as well, who was one of the top assist makers in Serie A last season, or the season before. It was the season before, wasn't it? We made him captain. He was so good. It wasn't his fault Makey turned up. We didn't need the lad, but we'll probably end up regretting selling him to Liverpool so cheap. He was a Milan youth prospect, so that probably should have been a reason to keep him, but he wasn't Brazilian, so that goes against him, and we are trying to build an entirely Brazilian Milan team at the moment, it seems, because that's all we're signing. There doesn't seem to be any limit on the number of Brazilians in the team as well, which is rather splendid, and oh goodness me, they're in there. This is troubling stuff. Right, Makey with the throw in. Backer just... he's not the same player. I tried to send him to Liverpool with De Chilio, but he didn't want to go. Benzema, not impressed with at all so far. It's like he's listening. That was a good little finish. He seems to just sort of faff around a little bit. He doesn't just get on the end of the cross and do the easy thing. Like you would expect him to launch at that as it came in. He didn't. Waits for it to drop to him again and then just does that. It's a little piece of awesome. But I don't know. I kind of like my strikers just attack the ball as it's crossed in. But maybe that's what we needed. Maybe we needed something a little bit different from what's already here. I guess having the likes of Baka just attacking the ball when it comes in, when they fall out of form or when the crosses dry up. You need someone who's got that little spark of awesome, capable of doing what we just saw from Benzema there to put us 1-0 up. Worryingly, even if everything finishes as it is now, we're still 4 points behind Fiorentina, and they have a game in hand over us. We have left ourselves with so much work to do in this second half of the season. Again! It's just ridiculous. Oh, right, Zuma to Bazoa to Makey. Let's have a super... See, again, cross comes in, Benzema doesn't tuck it away. The jury is going to be out with him for as long as he keeps missing what look like simple chances. I don't really care how many awesome goals he scores that he creates himself. If he's not going to score the tap-ins, I don't know if he fits the way we play. We just spent nearly £30 million on him. I probably should have done a little bit of research into what type of player he was before he signed. It even describes him as a flamboyant striker, and I just assumed they meant he wears orange suits on his days off and stuff. I didn't realise they meant that's how he played. Right, Benzema to Bertolacci, and what was he trying to do there? That's too much hanging around with Benzema, making him think, I'll try something a bit fancy. Yeah, don't. You're not good enough. That's why you're just a squad player now, little fella. Right, the weak link is coming off. Ceballos. We'll bring on Bonaventura to play there. We'll take Baka off and bring Oyosi on. Nyang's probably feeling a little bit hard done by. Did I mention Everton's gone out on loan somewhere as well? I think he meant to Porto. You probably saw when I was scrolling down before and think, why hasn't Kev mentioned that Everton's gone to Porto? I can see he's gone to Porto, or wherever he's actually gone. It could be anywhere. But he's so far down the pecking order, and with Benzema coming in to push him down even further, the chance to go and play some first team football was impossible to ignore. So he goes off, does that. Hopefully will return a better player, although he is going to return a better player to a club that has Barbosa playing in his position. So he might be on loan again next season as well, as we continue to just accumulate players but refuse to develop a tactic that plays to the best of their abilities, because that's how we do things around here. Right, Bonaventura to Mauri to Bertolacci. Good old George. He doesn't look like a left-footed Makey at the moment, does he? We probably should have seen if he was any good before selling the alternative. Right, Bertolacci, beautiful cross, and Benzema has tucked away a cross. All is forgiven. He's now my friend. Bertolacci learnt from his previous error, and rather than having a silly, elaborate shot, nice little cross. Benzema tucks it away, far corner. We're 2-0 up. This should be job done in this match now, and encouraging signs from Karim Benzema. 2 goals, both assists coming to Bertolacci. So they're not typical Ipswich style goals that we score, where it's lumped in crosses from the fullbacks, but we've just shown today we're capable of scoring some other types of goal. And I guess without them, we would have been another one of those draws that we're so well known for now, because we didn't create anything from crosses. So I guess after all that, it is good to have another string to our bow. So we will be back tomorrow with the first leg of the first knockout round of the Champions League, which is Borussia Dortmund. So that's going to be hard. Brilliant. If you've enjoyed that, make sure you pop a like on there for me. Subscribe to the channel if you'd like to see more. And thank you very much for watching.